This could be every photo shoot and I'd be happy. Hello, I'm Jamie Maldonado and this is Camera Insecura, and we are on our way to 500 subscribers. Okay, we've got like 69 left to go. Please join and help us make that march toward 1,000 in monetization. Speaking of exciting news, the zine has sold more than 105 copies. I'm definitely printing another one, and that brings me to an exciting reveal. Starting on May 1st, my Patreon will not only support this channel, but it'll also become my zine subscription service. Patrons who pay $20 and up a month will receive a seasonal zine or an equivalent to be announced later, in addition to a monthly photo print, and discounts on upcoming photo books. What? Oh yeah, you'll want to become a patron as soon as you can.
Add sour cream, add jalapeno, add cheese, add avocado. For you? For anything.
So, I'm here at the Nasty Chupacabra Art Festival. If you're coming to see me, I'm in the back of this trading post room, just off of 271. And if you brought me a 12 or 16 ounce Americano with some half and half in it, that would be cool. As for my current zine, I've moved about 85 copies online and the rest in person, including at events such as the Nasty Chupacabra Art Festival in Tyler. It was a lot of fun to meet new people and see the beginnings of a local art scene that could be starting to flourish. Small towns are where it's at. No, really, small town art scenes are the next big thing. Look it up. We're here, out in the beautiful land, where I actually began this season of Camera Insecura. I'm here again at Monet's house, about to do a crazy idea that started with a swimming pool and is now currently a blue plastic tarp from Lowe's. And our little assistant here is being a weight. That's it. We're taping the corners to make a little wall. That seems to be working pretty well, actually. It doesn't have to hold much water at all. So what I've got going here is, I saw Dean Collins sort of do this in a video once, and there's some splotches of light, but I think it'll be okay with specularities. And there's safety, of course. There's power cords and water, and we have everything off the ground that needs to be, I hope. And just like that, the audio recorder I use, Adobe Audition, refuses to work, and I don't really have time to fix it, so I apologize for any shift in the audio quality of this episode. So what we did was that Rachel Singletary, my patron, there in the red, had this idea, and this is a convoluted story. Anyway, it came down to that there was a photo shared. Monet said she wished she could do something like that, and I took the challenge, and here we were a few weeks later, filling a makeshift would-be swimming pool that Rachel purchased from Lowe's with water in Monet's front yard. So it was not the swimming pool we were going for, but I wanted to put my own twist on this anyway, so that's what we did. And we had, as you can see in a lot of this, had a lot going on. We had these two LED lights, the Godox SL-150W, which I reviewed recently, and then the 60 watt, I guess, knockoff light that I saw in a review. I'll actually link that in the description, and I will have a proper review on that soon. I just took this opportunity to bring it out for the first time. Have a good time?
It was a great time.
Cool.
Thank you again, guys, for driving out to me.
Thanks for being in the freezing water.
Yeah. That was a first. It was fun.
Awesome. We'll do it again, I hope.
Yeah, I would love to.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you dry off. Thanks. I had a star filter on the lens actually to soften the image and to hopefully get a few star patterns and the specularities. And honestly, I was maybe less pleased with the turnout of this photo, but we'll get into that in a minute. On the Patreon front, also, I'd love to thank my new patron, May, who actually joined in the last week and gave me the spectacular idea to do my re-tiering. And so yeah, you can join May and Rachel and Stephanie K. Smith as patrons. So as far as the expectations I had for this shoot go, let's just say I was thinking much more epic, but what I got is a lesson in embracing what you get. What I'm starting here in Capture One is I'm just kind of flattening everything out. I put the camera profile on linear response. I toyed with, white balance a little bit, and mostly just I wanted to take out hot spots and kind of gauge the brightness where it belongs, which is on her face. And I'm doing that through a combination of base adjustments and layer adjustments, which you can do these mask type adjustments in Lightroom as well. And I corrected the skin tones with the color editor, and it mostly just it did that just to brighten them up a little bit and to even out the tones. And that's what you're seeing here if I sync this correctly. And then I did a bunch of basic color editing, and I did speed this up a little bit just so you wouldn't be here for 30 minutes watching me do this edit. You should slow it down if you want. And I like how it allows you to isolate just the tones you have selected. I also did a clarity adjustment, and the clarity adjustment I did on here, which I think I've already done, is a little different than what you see in Lightroom. What it does when you crank it all the way on the left on the top slider is it just totally softens it, and then you bring it all the way on the right and it brings it a little structure, which I think is the name of the slider. So that's kind of what I do. And then I generally just give it a brightness and contrast adjustment. And I actually used Capture One styles on this, which you saw for a flash in there. And I have an editorial pack which I got for, oh yeah, here's the styles, Capture One styles. And I actually had accidentally applied royal blue already. I think it was royal blues. And I just love the almost pastel appearance of the colors for this particular photo. And Capture One styles to me are the best styles by far that I've used. Capture One seems to really, really hit something. And this is actually where I apply a clarity adjustment to her hair to bring out some additional texture, which I do feel is lost a little bit due to the heavy amount of diffusion I used on the lens. So I kind of don't mind that, really. I like how Capture One does their clarity rendering. And but yeah, Capture One has great styles and I really like them, but I still basically just get a generally pleasing color rendition and texture and everything in Capture One, and then I bring it into Lightroom from there. And then I bring it into Photoshop from there. I was kind of disappointed when I first looked at these, just because I realized I should have filled it up more with water. And my first edits, this is actually my second edit of this photo, maybe third. My first edit, I tried to hide what was there a little bit too much, and that just got me into trouble because I basically would have needed a back plate of a swimming pool, an empty swimming pool or something, and then it just looks extra fake. Now I have to apologize because the palettes didn't record for some reason, so I will do my best to talk you through what I'm doing. First, I do some retouching, which actually Monet needed almost nothing except for a little dusting of eye makeup that I had to get rid of later on. Here I'm just taking out telltale wrinkles from the tarp, which I really don't think showed as badly as I thought. When I embraced the shallow water that I had available to me and the specularities I was able to get on it and everything, and the dappled light that falls across her and gives it that I guess, water reflection feeling almost. I started to enjoy this photograph more. Here I'm doing a little dodge and burn to just bring that light to her and bring your eye to her, as you would say, and also to bring out some of the texture and that gauzy fabric that's draped around her. And those are actually flowers picked from Monet's yard. And I always check the highlights because it's real easy to make these things way too dark. It happens to me a lot, especially since I have questionably calibrated monitors at the moment. But so yeah, just a little general retouching, or dodge and burn, I should say. And I didn't mean for this to be like a step-by-step how to do this in Photoshop. This is more of a big picture retouching, or I guess editing walkthrough. I could do step-by-steps if you had questions about certain things, and sometimes somebody like Flern or something is just super detailed in that. But yeah, I would welcome giving a step-by-step. Here's where I mask her face and brighten it up just a little bit, because I just really want your eye to go to her face, and then work your way around the design of the photograph. So right here I realized that I do a thing with NYX Color Efex Pro, my Glamour Glow soft focus thing here, and it did not record that screen, so this section is pretty useless just because you can't really see what I'm doing. But here is the end result, which is very nice and diffuse. And here's a little zoom in where I fixed the eye makeup, and you can see how the glow works on her face. But yeah, and you see the ripples in the water, and this is yet another reason why you should, probably see the print. And here we go. I am overall pretty happy with the result once I let it be what it actually is. And instead of being disappointed that maybe it didn't turn out exactly how I want. And what's funny about that is that sometimes you'll get exactly what you want and it's super boring. And what you get is sometimes an improvement. So it's just a learning process, and sure, I could have done this better, but live and learn. You can't learn it until you actually go out there and do it. And even when you're experienced, you need to go out there and do more and push yourself and try to learn other things, which is what I did here. Anyway, thanks again for checking out the episode, and especially if you made it all the way to the end right here. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Join my Patreon, and the links in the description. And I will see you next week. Thank you. Bye.